Hello and welcome to Sarah's Tarot. It's Chinese New Year this month on the 5th of February, and to celebrate I'm going to be doing a reading for each of the 12 signs of the Chinese zodiac. And this reading is for those of you born during the year of the dragon. Okay, so I've got my tarot and I also have the Angel Answers deck to look at, and I will also be choosing you a fortune cookie at the end of the reading, so stay tuned for that to see your lucky fortune and your lucky numbers, dear dragons. Okay, now the dragon, when converted to Western astrology, is likened to the sign of Aries. So it, in that sense, is very much a fire sign. And of course, dragons do breathe fire. But I happen to really love dragons. And I am a dragon myself. So this reading will be for me as well. So let's see what's coming up for us all, shall we? My fellow dragons. And if you haven't subscribed yet, you can do so by clicking on the subscribe button below and the little bell. Okay, dear dragons, let's see. Oh, good start. 10 of Cups, Temperance card, Queen of Swords, Judgment, 4 of Wands, and the Queen of Pentacles. Let's have a look at the underlying energy. The Page of Cups is the underlying energy, and the Page of Cups relates to water signs, Pisces, Cancer and Scorpio. And often this Page of Cups brings a loving, caring energy into the month, and this reading is for the month ahead. As a young person, the Page of Cups is a very caring, sensitive person to be around, you know. It can sometimes relate to your children, a teenager perhaps, or just a very loving energy in your environment. And that is what's underlying this reading for February. So we'll see how that relates when we look at the rest of your cards. And your first card is regarding romance and love, and what a fantastic card to have. The 10 of Cups. This is contentment, it is fulfillment, it is feeling in love. Now if you're not in a relationship, then these are feelings that you long for, you know, this beautiful happy ever after situation. Okay, so I mean, dragons are very independent creatures, but they do like to be in love, and they do like the family setup, you know. So for those of you who are single, this could indicate that you know, things are looking up for you in the love department. This is the rainbow after the storm. So for those of you who have been through any difficulties with regard to love, or maybe have left a troublesome relationship, this is about you believing in love again, I feel, you know, during February. Maybe we have Valentine's Day coming up, don't we, in February? So maybe that has something to do with it. But I do feel those of you who are single are regaining their belief in love again, and going after this happy ever after situation, which is really nice. That these feelings are coming back for you. And for those of you who are in a relationship, this is a wonderful omen for February. And I feel you will be feeling really content in your relationship. That's for most of you. There will be some in a relationship who wish things were more like this, and perhaps this is about you and your partner working on that situation and getting this feeling back, and this contentment back for the two of you and your family. And then as we move on, the Temperance card relates to your career and financial situation this month, and the Temperance card is about balance. It's about making sure that you're not overworking or spending too much time at home. It could be either, but generally dragons tend to be very hard-working individuals, non-stop, you know. They do tend to have a lot of energy, a lot of fire in their belly, and this can lead to a bit of burnout sometimes with dragons. They have a powerful character, a lot of dragons, and tend to take on a little too much at times. So the Temperance card is asking you to find a middle ground this month. Don't overdo things. Make sure you spend time with your family or your loved ones or your partner. Make sure that there is a healthy balance with regard to work. And for finance, then this is about you making sure that you don't overspend. Dragons do have a habit of being a little over generous at times, and it can be a good thing, but sometimes it can leave you in a bit of a situation where you're strapped for cash. So maybe Christmas and the New Year has been expensive and you need to now budget for a little while, dragons. And I know you don't like being told that, but I feel that's the message here from your angels very strongly with this Angel Temperance card. And then we move on to your general well-being, and the card for that this month is the Queen of Swords, okay? So I feel that let's look at the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords is a card that relates to air signs, Aquarius, Gemini and Libra. And this lady says it as it is, you know. What I feel here is for general well-being, that perhaps you need to not be so hard on yourself, because dragons can be just as blunt and judgmental as the Queen of Swords sometimes. And I mean, that's with regard to themselves, you know. They can be a little bit tough and expect a lot from themselves. And I feel this can sometimes affect the dragon's mental well-being, really, more than anything. So it's your mental health that you need to keep an eye on this month, and perhaps take a softer, more gentle approach with yourself and with others, you know, and with life in general. You know, sometimes compassion and love is the best way through, and that's maybe why we have this Page of Cups in the reading for you this month. This Page of Cups bringing in a gentleness, you know, and softening the edges of what could be some harsh criticism. So if you do feel that you've been criticizing yourself or the world around you, then try to bring in this softer edge this month and keep an eye on your mental well-being. And then as we move along, the next card is the Judgment card. And the Judgment card relates to obstacles and challenges. So the Judgment card is a card of basically looking back at mistakes or situations that haven't really worked out for you. And as we had this Queen of Swords, and as I was saying, she can be quite critical and judgmental. Your challenge here is to let go and start moving forward. And normally dragons are very good at that. But for some of you, there appears to be something that you're holding on to in your heart that isn't really doing you a lot of good, you know. Mistakes have been made, whether it's with a past relationship, a work situation, a money situation, you know, something that you've done or said, or something that someone else has done or said. This is about letting go of any harsh judgments you have about it and realising that mistakes happen, you know, situations happen. People say and do things that they shouldn't do, but we learn from it. And this is your challenge, to learn from whatever situation you have been holding on to, okay? And then make a conscious decision to move forward and set yourself free. The next card, it relates to the advice for February. So the Four of Wands is a card of celebration. It's a card of taking a break. And so your advice here is to do just that, okay? To take a break in some way. This card is urging you to find ways to have some fun, dear dragons. Now, you can be the life and soul of the party sometimes, but not if you overdo things. Okay, so it's about balance here, especially with regard to work and play. A lot of dragons do tend to be in charge in some way. They may have their own business, perhaps they're a manager of a company. Often that is where dragons find themselves, and that can be a lot of pressure. And if you're not in a leadership position, then you will be working hard in one way or another in your life, because that's what dragons do. But they do, as I say, have a habit of overdoing things sometimes. And this is a reminder for you not to forget to spend some time doing the things that make you feel good, okay? And now that may be going out on your travels, it may be arranging outings with your friends, a night out, you know, whatever it is that you enjoy doing. This is about you making sure that there is time for that. It's about you organising friends and family and get-togethers. You know, this is about get-togethers this month. So that's what they're urging you to do. They want you to make sure that it's not just about work this month, okay? And I know you have bills to pay, things to catch up with, but you still have to have a bit of a break sometimes, okay? And I feel there will be something coming in for many dragons this month, which will give you a chance to let your hair down, you know. And honestly, that won't hurt. That's what the advice is here this month, you know. So try not to say no to any invitations you get, and get out there and party a little bit, you know. Just let your hair down and be yourself, you know. Be your lovely dragon self. And the last card in this deck is the Queen of Pentacles, and this card is your message from Spirit. Now, when a court card comes out in this position, I always feel it is a direct message from whoever that court card relates to. So this will be a message from someone in spirit, a mother or grandmother figure, possibly an aunt, but a female figure who, when on earth, would have been very practical, very sensible, and someone who gave good advice, dear dragons. Now, dragons tend to like this kind of advice, and you know, they can see the practical situations around them that need perhaps the input of someone like this. And right now, this lady, this female energy is coming in very strongly to advise you and ask you to remain grounded, realistic and very practical this month. You know, think about things with regard to your financial situation in a practical way. You know, take some of this Queen of Pentacles energy that Spirit are sending you and, you know, act accordingly. In what way do you need to be practical this month? Because that's what Spirit want you to do, okay? You may need to make a few sacrifices, but this lady is very strongly with you, supporting you all the way and helping you to make wise choices this month. And let's have a look at your angel answers card for the month of February, dear dragons. And dragons are very likeable characters in general. They can be larger than life, a lot of them, but they go toward life with gusto. And it does look as if there will be an element of that this month. And of course, it's the year of the pig, so the pigs tend to be lucky, just like the dragons. So there could be a heavy dose of luck coming in this year for us all. Let's have a look then. Okay, so this is a card that suits the dragon down to a T. Take action. So it's a month for taking action on whatever it is that you have been wanting to start or been thinking about. Dragons do tend to have a lot of ideas and often have projects on the go, but you may have been procrastinating over something for a while. And if that's the case, then this month is a month to step forward and really go for it. What is it that you want to do, dear dragons? Because I know many of you will have something in mind, and the angels are urging you here to really start going for it. Okay, so make those steps forward. Of course, you must still bear in mind that there needs to be a balance in your life this month, but that doesn't mean to say you can't spring into action with this new idea that you have been waiting to start. Okay, start with, make inroads with. This is a good month for that. Now let's have a look at your fortune cookie for this month. Oh, okay, it's already. Let's have a look, dear dragons. Face any problem with dignity. Okay, so any situations you've got around you, dragons, it's about being dignified in your approach. And generally, dragons are like that, you know. They're a very proud sign and generally very honest. So whatever situation you are dealing with right now or that comes in during the month of February, you can deal with it by using your dignity and by being honest and facing up to things in a fair, non-judgmental way. And your lucky numbers are 41, 42, 33, 38, 18 and number 8. And that is your reading, dear dragons, for the month ahead. If you'd like to order a reading from me, you can do so by clicking on the link below. Have a great February.